Hey, Jack. All right. You got this stuff?
Yeah, all cleaned in oil.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's get it on.
Who are these guys?
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Live from Springfield, Missouri, the one, the only, Keith Green.
Excuse me. Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
How we doing, everybody?
100% better now that I saw that clip because it's my favorite thing on this entire channel. It's hilarious.
Well, when I get your shows done, thank you, everybody.
So,
wow.
Oh.
Well, looks like we are here to finish the list. We are counting down, everybody. Wow. I'm telling you, this has been difficult. You know, getting it down to the 10 that I have on this list. I cannot tell you how many times I've changed this.
Oh,
I'm serious. I
can imagine.
I have just wow. Anyway, first let me just start off with this. Hi, everybody. It's me, which means it must be Thursday, and I'm here surrounded by these fine gentlemen. Let me start out with my good friend Joe. How are you, Joe?
I am doing fantastic, brother. It's good to hear your voice.
It's good to be heard, you know, and having you here today, that just gives an extra, you know, lift to everything.
A little lanyap, like a little something
just like
extra.
having John here.
That's right.
I'm always here. I live here.
well, at least you can say that. They don't let me live. They don't let me live.
Martin and I are the guys on the most shows.
Oh, I thought you guys were the only ones left on the island after everybody else is left. You know, like lost.
Island? You mean you're on an island? I'm in a freaking basement.
Uh-oh. Look, I'll send somebody, okay?
I'm chained to the bed and Gary's Kathy Gates. Kathy Bates.
Oh man.
Wow.
Dude.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow.
That went so dark. Oh. How are you, Martin?
I'm fine. Thank God. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We're all fired.
Yep,
damn.
we're all fired.
What do you mean?
There he
You're
is.
acting like the principal is here.
You obviously didn't hear the joke I made.
sorry.
So.
Dean Wormer.
Yeah.
Animal House.
No, I compared you to Kathy Bates.
Oh, fuck you. Hey, I just wanted to stop in real quick, say good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Hiya.
To remind Keith in particular, do not forget there are 2 days this month. You need to be with us because I need you. We need you. And that is on the 26th and 27th of this month for our Halloween.
Okay.
Because we got two special guests. You got to hang out with him the first time, Dick Dizell.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be on Friday, our Halloween Friday. And then the day before that, we've got none other than Frank LaLoggia. He's more Loja than what's his name?
Robert.
Robert Loja.
Robert Loja.
That's Robert Loja. R as in Robert Loja. O as in, oh God, look, it's Robert Loja. He's more Loja because he's La Loja. Anyway, he's the director and writer of the great classic ghost story, Lady in White. Yeah. And it's absolutely on my list of favorite ghost stories for Halloween. Number one.
Cool.
And that I got to become friends with this guy is amazing. And,
I know.
And he shits on me too.
I mean,
Well, you're friends, right? That's the point.
But he went right for it. And I'm like, holy shit, we're going to get along.
Hey, Anima Confusa has been a member for 14 months.
Awesome. Bragging rights right there. But anyway, what are we talking about today? Or what are you talking about?
We're going to
just see the thumbnail.
Enemies of the state.
We're completing the last of the countdown of the top 10 foes of fandom for 2022 to 2023.
Ooh,
and this has been a list that I have changed so many times, and in fact, I changed it again last night. I have been back and forth all over this list, and I mean, oh man, I could still probably change it right now.
Hey, by the way, did you see I tagged you with Admiral Teague for Star Trek?
Oh, really?
How to make Star Trek better. And I said he needs to get a hold of you and get you under, because I said Keith has some ideas of what would make Star Trek better.
Yeah.
So Admiral Teague, if he hasn't already, we'll be getting a hold of you, and you need to probably touch base with him, because I think you belong on that channel talking about Star Trek at least once a week.
Star Trek is definitely something that I'm very passionate about.
And, really? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah,
I know.
Who would have thunk that?
We just need to put Keith in charge of Hollywood in particular. Just
in charge of Hollywood, that might be a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, John, I'm not sick this week. I've actually been doing great physically. It's just this week I got hammered by deadlines with, because if you guys don't know, I've been working for Dale Dye for 18 years. And sometimes there's like dead periods, and then sometimes it's all of a sudden, I need everything all at once. And that's what this week is. And I'm doing 4 book covers in 1 week. And it's been crazy. And finished the first book cover yesterday. And almost done with the second, and between now and Friday, I got to finish the other 2.
Wow!
So,
Too well.
Yeah, you'd think I'd be making a lot of money. I don't. That's why
they call us starving artists.
I'm sure all of exactly. It's a struggling or starving artist. But as you guys have noticed, I'm trying to figure out what to do. We haven't paid our StreamYard bill yet, and we got our 3rd notice yesterday, and it's like, hey man, are you ever going to pay? It's like, I don't know. So don't be surprised if you see the duck logo pop up until I get paid. You know, the mallard logo from them, StreamYard.
Yep.
But I think that also Martin is right, because we looked at, what was it, Evux, and what was the other one you suggested? Was it just Evux that you suggested?
No, EVMux.
EVMux.
Yeah, and I was talking about the one from was it? This is the one Brian uses. It used to be Melon. Now it's
Melon. Yes, I've used Melon. I like Melon. I've used EVMux only one time, so I'm not very.
It's the one you get free with Streamlabs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Streamlabs one is $149 a year.
Wow.
Which is
that sounds great. It needs more cowbell. So,
wow.
But I like any of these ideas, and we should probably have a meeting about it. But I just want to drop in and say hi to you guys.
It's great to see you, Gary. Really,
it's good to see you, Joe.
Don't see you enough.
Oh, this week in particular, I feel bad.
Yep.
But we will be doing on one of our Saturdays. Will be instead of a single film, we are going to actually. I'm nice at Saturdays. On one of our Fridays, we should do it before Halloween. Our top 5 for each person, including those in the chat. Give us your top 5 horror films. And if you want to break them down like I did, because I have 4 groups. I have classic horror, I have ghost stories, I have old school, what do you call them? The comedies, horror comedies, and then the modern horror comedies.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to break them down in those 4 categories. And I had somebody yesterday like post on my page, well, what about this one movie? And I'm like, read the list again. It's right in there.
It's in there somewhere.
You just flipped through it and didn't see the movie you wanted, but it's in there.
Yeah.
And it's a classic. I can't even remember what the heck it is, but it's, I like, and you'll notice I switch back and forth from movie to film too. And I don't know if guys know this, that typically when you start to talk about something that's more artistic, motion picture wise, it's referred to as film.
Film, yeah.
And so when I mention like haunted ghost stories, I refer to them as films, not because of that though. I do it because of the fact that ghost movie sounds weird. Ghost film doesn't.
No, Ghost Story is actually the best.
Yeah, but I don't want to be confusing. It's a motion picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want people to think I'm listing books or comics or something like that.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So I always make sure to identify. So no, I agree with you, but I wanted to say Ghost Story, but the fact is one of them is the movie Ghost Story.
Yeah.
You guys remember that movie?
I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
All-star cast from classic actors, Fred
Big
Astaire,
time.
Douglas Fairbanks Jr.
The Borg
what's his
Queen
name?
is
John
in it when she was
Houseman is
very
in it?
young and very beautiful.
Oh my God, she was so hot back in the 80s.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
God. Allison Krieg. Mm.
Yep.
And she
Classic
does
beauty.
some nudity in it, which was awesome for me as a young man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you.
You know what? I'm trying to remember. The film came out because she does a nude scene, and then we also had probably just before that was the nude scene of the lead vampire of oh man, we were just talking about that movie. A space vampire movie.
Oh, Life Force?
Life
Oh,
Force?
Life Force.
Life Force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ghost Story is
These British-
1981.
Well then, yeah, that means Ghost Story was first. Life Force was 3 years later. And man, these British chicks like to get naked like that. Jeez.
Well, nudity is not as taboo in the UK. I remember when I was in 1977, I'm watching the BBC, and I'm watching a Francois Truffaut film, and they had motherfucker in it on TV.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, because it's in French, but subtitles, and I'm reading it, and the line was, he says, you motherfucker, and he goes, do not say that. My mother is in the car. She can hear you. And he goes, well, stop fucking her.
Oh, jeez.
And I turned to look, and my dad didn't see what I was watching. And I'm like, I'm getting away with watching something really naughty in front of my dad. He doesn't know. He thinks I'm just watching a French movie.
Oh, man.
The BBC was great, dude, when I was a kid.
Yeah, man. Well, hell, Benny Hill had boobs on his show all the damn
yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
And by the way, a lot of people thought that he died poor. It's a
How?
mistake. It's a mistake. He was a very extremely thrifty person. I suppose he was OCD. And he died looking like a vagrant. His apartment looked like a vagrant lived there. But the fact was there was money packed everywhere in that apartment.
Mhm.
He just wouldn't spend it.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's something that seems to happen with a lot of people of that generation.
Yeah.
You know, and slightly before.
So, yeah,
Wow.
but anyway, I've dragged your show in the wrong direction. I apologize. You guys need
It's
to get
all right.
back to it. And I've got to go to my first appointment today. I have 2 doctor's appointments today. And by the way, blood sugar is 139 right now. So Yay
Good job.
me. So I'm going to get the hell out of here and head over. I got my new orthopedic shoes. I'm
Good.
finally going to get fitted for them today. And then I got to go
Finally.
get the x-ray on my
Boy,
neck.
you're gonna feel like $1 million once you start wearing.
I
those
hope so.
things.
I sure hope so. But anyway, guys, y'all have a good day today. And Keith, I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
You got it.
Martin,
Great to see you, Chief. Good to see you.
Joe. See you, John. See you, Martin.
See ya.
See you, boss.
If anybody's gonna
Wow.
disrupt the show, it's got to be that guy.
Well, of course.
You know,
Wow.
because he's awesome. He can't
Yeah,
help
he
himself.
is.
What Ricky Bobby
Anyway.
say? Up his excellence.
Oh,
First,
man.
you're last.
If you're not first, you're last. That's a fact.
I haven't gotten yet to see Ricky Bobby.
Oh my gosh. If
Yeah,
you're into
I'm-
comedy,
I'm-
buddy. Look, I'm not a
I
Will Ferrell
know.
fan. I can't stand that guy. I think he's a
What?
total
I
retard.
love him, man.
But he is tailor made for the part of Ricky Bobby. I'm telling you, it is so awesome. It really is great.
I
It's
don't like a lot of comedies. I mean, there's a few I like, but I'm not really a big comedy person. But that one's on my list. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm that fan of Farrell, even in his only dramatic movie.
mhm.
Oh, I forgot. Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
I
Stranger Than
highly
Fiction.
recommend that movie.
I've heard that's good.
Well, you should give it a try. And oh man, I had to watch Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby's awesome.
Did you like
The
him in
Ballad of
Barbie?
Ricky Bobby. Talladega Nights. The Ballad
Yep.
of Ricky Bobby. That's right.
Wow.
Okay,
Good,
kid.
movie. Good movie.
The true
There's
NASCAR
someone.
movie.
They have an ongoing bet in the chat, Anima and Nostains, and I want to know
Aw.
how close they are. So,
Well-
Anima, Anostain says this. Have you changed your list 10 times?
Yeah, he's laying money down too. Look at this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
You know what? I've changed my list slightly more than that.
Oh,
You lose those days.
And again, I was on the verge of changing it again today.
My guess is
Because-
37 times.
Not that high, because I'm having to weigh stuff out about each of the people on these lists. You know, I'm again, as I said when we originally started this, it is a list of the foes of fandom, but I don't think of these people as evil so much as just these are people that have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to understanding fandom for some of them, and for others for thinking people in fandom are dumb. And they've all made mistakes that have cost one way or another and have done harm to modern fandom in one way or another. In fact, that leads me to our number 10 name on the list, which is say what?
go.
Oh, which is the director of programming for Netflix, Mr. Ted Biaselli. Now,
Wait
Ted
a minute.
Biaselli,
That guy is a VP?
Yep.
Holy crap.
he's the one that actually came up with the idea for the Masters of the Universe series that Kevin Smith did. He was the actual guy in charge. And
Yeah.
not just because he was a VP, he was in creative charge of the entire thing. And this
Yeah.
is according to Kevin Smith himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but how
Kevin,
much is that Kevin Smith just wanting
I
to
was
deflect
fixing to
off?
say,
Yeah.
couldn't he be throwing
No, no,
somebody
no, no,
under
no,
the
no,
bus to save
No,
himself?
no, no.
wait. Time. Let me explain something. Before I stopped listening to a lot of Kevin Smith shows, I spent a great amount of time checking out his programming, checking out a lot of his podcasts and stuff. And for well over a year, he kept dropping hints about this and talking about Ted. A lot. I mean, a lot. There is a point that he was talking about his Ted almost as much as he was talking about his wife.
Oh,
And and this is before they had the announcement that they were coming out with this. So the way Kevin explained it leading up to the just after the announcement, was the fact that this idea was something that had been in the works because they were trying to drum up modern interest for Masters of the Universe. And that, according to Kevin, he had been invited to the Masters of the Universe convention that they had. Now, Kevin put it out there that he wasn't that big of a fan, even though I have memory of him saying some rather nice things about Masters of the Universe. But hey, if he's saying he's never been that big of a fan. But he met with Ted Biaselli. And I think Kevin's job was to attract a lot of the talent, but that Ted Biaselli was the guy in charge of the entire production. He was the one, according to Kevin. Now remember, this is before the premiere of the series. This is before people started getting mad. Kevin was saying, that he had to learn exactly what Masters of the Universe truly was, what the actual story was. And that his person guiding him was Ted Biaselli.
Mm-hmm. Because they tried to sell Ted as the biggest Master of the Universe fan ever.
Yes, ever. And so as Kevin said on his show, if they ever ran into any situations where everybody was disagreeing about which direction to go, Ted was the deciding vote on which way they were to go. Or if Ted came up with something completely new, Kevin just went ahead and signed off on what Ted was putting in there. Okay? So Ted's the guy. I'm not saying you can't blame Kevin, but Ted is the guy. This was his idea. If you were to believe Kevin Smith, that Kevin Smith wasn't much of a Masters of the Universe fan, that means Ted is your guy. Okay, take your pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could say that Kevin is Alex Kurtzman. That makes Ted Biaselli J.J. Abrams. So, for my money, you can have whatever point of view you want when you're reviving something. You can change things. I mean, this guy not only was a VP, before all of that, he was an actor, voiceover actor too. And I have always thought that if you're going to do anything with fandom, whether you're a fan or not, first thing you want to do is try to do something that fans can really get behind. They don't always have to agree, but make it something that they can truly get behind. And from the very moment that once fans started finding out things about this production, it just seems like the entire thing was just mishandled.
Yeah.
The fact that Ted Biaselli couldn't find it within himself to get out there and give a lot more interviews and let Kevin take all the hits for it says a lot about who he is as a person and the way he likes to run things.
Right.
Kevin,
because really up until that point, Kevin was considered by many people one of us, a fan of things first and foremost.
He is a fan, but he was a fan getting paid. That's what I've often said about Kevin. What doesn't make sense about this one event, doing this show compared to everything else that Kevin has done, it just seems like from the moment he got involved with it, especially when they were out there trying to talk up the series and get fan interest, it's almost like Kevin signed up to basically just become kind of a dick about the whole thing.
Wow.
You know,
the patsy.
I kind of called him the beard. He's the creative beard of the project.
Right.
Because there are a lot of other people doing a lot of work. You know, Kevin wrote a few episodes. He has other people that he knows that are involved with this, but for the most part, this is a Ted Biaselli production. You know, and if you are a fan, well, let me put it to you this way: Ted Biaselli is a fan, but he's a fan in the way that Chris Chibnall is a fan of Doctor Who.
Oh.
He believes that he has the rights to creatively change whatever he wants. And you know what? He does. He does. I've never said that he didn't. My only thought is that a lot of their choices suck.
Yeah.
There are other creative ways they could have gone about doing this that would have been something to bring people together rather than to just force it down their throats and say, if you don't like this, you're X, Y, and Z, or you're whatever we say you are, or just to be hateful about the whole thing. You know, for me, I lost a tiny bit of respect for Kevin because of something that he said about the original animator and creator of this show. That, you know, he kind of implied the guy was kind of like, you know, not all that. I look at it this way. That entire studio was the last American animated studio here in the United States. When they were making Masters of the Universe, that was one of the last American animated shows. A lot of the other studios were already using people from overseas. And if you've never seen the documentary about that studio and about the people that worked for that studio, you need to. I think it's free on YouTube. And it's a family operation. The entire studio was housed in a warehouse where the entirety of what they did was done in one place. Each floor held a different department. So you had your actors and recording on one floor. You had your writers on another floor. You had your animators, and everyone else, I think, did a lot of the other floors that they had for this thing. They literally kept it in one place. And that's how they did all their shows. And Lou Scheimer may not be a name that a lot of people currently know, but you should know that name if you think you love animation.
Oh, yeah.
That dude did it. And he kept a lot of people employed at a time when it would have been very easy and a little more lucrative for him and his company to have used overseas workers to make a lot of this stuff.
Sweatshop workers?
You could say something.
You could
like
say that.
You know?
I'm just joking, guys. Loosen up.
But anyway, you know, there is a reason why Ted Biaselli is here. Now, he's not the worst of the worst, but he is coming in at number 10. And considering all the other names that we had going, because this is a top 20 list, and we're starting this second half here with number 10. And Ted has earned his way onto this list because this, again, should have been easy. There are a lot of people that are fans of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and to have screwed it up this badly. I mean, it takes a special kind of talent to do that, you know.
I was about to say that very thing.
And again, I know there are a lot of you
Brian's
out
in the
there.
house.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. I will say this. I know a lot of different people have a lot of different things to say about Kevin Smith. I have my own opinion, which is this. I lost a little bit of respect, but I don't hate Kevin Smith. Okay?
Guy's talented.
person-
He's done some good stuff.
That's
A
right.
lot of people need to check out what he's done in the comic book industry. He did some good stuff for Daredevil, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. You need to check him out.
Although the whole, well, that's a whole other story. I'm about to say something that might open up a can of worms another direction, but
Kevin,
Kevin,
in my opinion, Kevin Smith lost his sense of humor when he lost his weight.
You think?
Well,
You think that the self-improvement
that's what I've been
thing?
hearing.
That's when he started.
He got too
he started
serious.
not being
Yeah.
the Kevin Smith we knew, and started on this path of destruction.
Well, I can tell you this. I saw it with my own eyes. Now, this was the last day of the Comic-Con, because you guys know I work on Friday and Saturdays. But our local Comic-Con, he was one of the headliners, him and Brandon Routh, and there was a line to see Brandon Routh, and I saw no one in line to see Kevin Smith. Not a soul.
Oh yeah,
Well, he garnered a lot of bad emotions with the thing with Clownfish.
Yeah.
I think that caused more damage than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, after everything that came out, once the show premiered, after, you know, it's pretty easy to figure out who was actually telling the truth in that situation. And again, as a fan, as someone that is interested in this, my only thing, if I could say something to Kevin, is, dude, why did you have to go there? You could have just not said anything. Seriously, if somebody, look, animation's hard. You know, you have to, it's something that, unlike filmmaking, it really does take a while to do. If someone has figured out what you're doing, you've got two choices. Okay? You can say absolutely nothing, or you can go on the attack. I find if you just say nothing sometimes, because I mean, once it's out there, it's out there. There was no way that you were going to stop people from saying anything. To have attacked Clownfish the way that he did only really says more about him as a person than it does anything else. It's a sad situation in that situation. I mean, in that particular instance. But again, Ted Biaselli, for the most part, has said next to nothing. And to me, that says volumes about the kind of guy he is. And the fact that Kevin,
he's going to let somebody else take the bullets. Yeah.
That's right. The fact that Kevin's going to bat means that he wrote Kevin a really, really, really nice check to basically do that. Because to me, if Ted had that kind of power over the entire project, it pretty much just says, what was Kevin doing? Well, Kevin was hired to just basically do what he was doing, which is take all the hits.
Yep.
When the fans got pissed because Ted made changes, Kevin's job was to take all the hits. So
I think that job came later. I think his main job was to attract nerds, using to lure.
Yeah,
nerds.
name recognition to go to get eyes on the project. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when things went sideways, Kevin's other job was to take all the hits.
Yeah.
So
Kevin Smith, Will Wheaton.
There you go.
Yeah, he did. Oh, wow. Well, yes. Anyway, that's number 10. And again, it brought me no pleasure to at least start on that road about Kevin Smith. Ted Biaselli could be the nicest guy in the world, but as far as fandom goes, you, Ted Biaselli, are the 10th biggest foe to fandom. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just the way.
Enemy number 10.
So now we come to number 9. And I got to say, I originally had her higher because I felt that the damage that she did was just, oh, geez. She's had her hands in so much. And I have to say, there isn't much that was going down at old Warner Brothers that she wasn't really a part of in the end. Okay? And that's Ann Sarnoff.
Yeah, I figured she would be higher.
I originally had her higher. I kept changing where she was. I just, like I said, it kept changing. And, yeah, Ann Sarnoff really was the one who teamed up with Walter Hamada to create a lot of what we ended up getting of those movies that were left on the shelf when Zaslav took over. She was helping to kind of mold everything a certain direction.
Turn DC female? That whole project?
Not so much turning it female, but to steer it away from where it had been headed. And again, she was on that list of people that actually thought Wonder Woman 84 was a great idea and thought it was fantastic. I keep telling people, when you watch Shazam! Fury of the Gods, when Wonder Woman shows up, that's the Wonder Woman 84 version.
Yeah. And
you can also tell when you watch The Flash.
Yeah.
That's the Wonder Woman 84 version of Wonder Woman. That was Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada's contribution. This is what they thought.
After I saw her show up in The Flash, I started calling her Cameo Woman.
Well, that's what they were trying to do with Henry Cavill. You know,
yeah.
That is part of the whole thing. Ann Sarnoff and a lot of the executives at Warner Brothers didn't think too highly of all these actors. Now, I often say, compare that to what happened with Marvel Studios and their actors as they started getting more popular and these films started making more money. They did the right thing and paid them more. You know, Henry Cavill starts to become really popular, and all these executives can think about is, yeah, but how many different ways can we just not really pay him and just have him just make cameos? That in no way sounds like a company that truly is interested in doing any more business with someone who was rising to become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. You know, that would be the one thing I would really like to ask Ann Sarnoff herself. You know, I mean, what made you think that this was going to work out outside of, you know, screwing a lot of stuff up? Because I truly would say I don't see what you saw in Wonder Woman 84. I think Birds of Prey just flat out sucked.
Oh my God! I mean, yeah. What
Yeah.
are they doing? I need to like keep my mouth shut because I'll go off. It's ridiculous. Well, my favorite character, one of my favorite characters in DC, and you know I'm more of a Marvel guy, but one of my favorite characters in DC is the Huntress, and the way they portrayed her in that movie was just horrific. I couldn't believe it. I was like, she looks like the dumbest person on the planet, man. You know, I was like, wow.
that first Wonder Woman movie, her appearance in Batman v Superman, along with that first Wonder Woman movie, you had a character that was pretty much went from zero to becoming one of the top characters in superhero films.
I mean, much like
Instantly.
Captain America in the MCU anchoring the whole thing, she could have anchored the entire DC
That's
universe easily.
But the
after
way,
those two hits.
way that they were changing her character from how she had been to what I think they were wanting her to be, that was ruining the character. To me, it's no different than what they ended up doing with Natasha when they started Phase 4. Once Phase 4 begins, Marvel starts to suck bad.
Yeah, big
and
it goes off a cliff. Yeah.
A big cliff. So it's the same thing, at old Warner Brothers with Ann Sarnoff. I really would like to understand where they were coming from with all this stuff. Because, look, every single film that she had a hand in putting together was a failure as far as comic book fans were concerned.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 84, Birds of Prey, Black Adam, Blue Beetle, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I mean, you start to see a trend here. Oh, and her last great gift to all of us, Aquaman 2.
Oh, boy.
So,
well, I will defend Blue Beetle.
Me too.
Blue Beetle was not a disaster as far as what they did with the characters as the others have been.
And
well,
to be the devil's advocate, I know it's not a great movie. It may even not be what all of you that are more cultured than I am, a good movie. But I really, really enjoyed Black Adam. I didn't see any reason for what is basically what a superhero movie should be. I mean, superpower beings in ridiculous dress hitting each other.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, Martin, because you got to remember that film had to go through some heavy editing and some minor reshoots to fix what Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada had done to it. Okay? Remember, there's an additional hero in that movie that was completely cut out of the film.
Yeah.
And the reason why they cut that character out is for all of you who get this part of what I'm about to say. If you remember what happened to Indiana Jones in his last movie, that's what ISIS was doing to Black Adam in that movie.
Wow. For real?
That's the reason why they had to cut all that stuff. That's what they did to it.
I didn't even know that.
Oh,
I'm
me either.
First time hearing of that. Wow.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
I was wondering
what
why. I was wondering, if you're gonna have a Black Adam movie, I was wondering why ISIS wasn't in it.
I thought that they were banking on a sequel to bring her in the sequel.
No.
But
Ann Sarnoff and Walter Hamada had set it up so that what it was that ISIS was meant to be the conscience of the movie, and so her whole thing was getting in Black Adam's face and telling him, all this stuff, and basically to do to him what was done to Indiana Jones in his movie.
Right. Yeah. Put him in his place.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that I'm glad they changed that. And to Martin's point, there is good stuff in Black Adam. I mean, Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. As soon as I saw the casting, I was like, "Wow, I can't wait to see this." And he didn't disappoint, So
I know this is cheesy.
There's good stuff here, but
but the moment in which he says to the young, I forgot the name. I'm old. Forgive me.
It's okay.
When they are walking to the plane, I said, "We are the Justice Society." Oh man, that moment was oof.
Mhm. Well, it's a great
That
character.
was like Cap saying, "Assemble."
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. It's what I've been saying all along. These are great characters.
Mhm.
DC has some of the best characters out there. And when you put them in the hands of people who do not get it, who do not understand who these characters are,
Yeah.
this is when you get into trouble. Because now you've got people who are just basically trying to relate it to whatever they can identify or understand. And so they put, these are people that are actually in charge and control the purse strings. So they get to basically kind of mold this the way that they see fit. And when you look at all of these films, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I've told people dozens of times that first Shazam movie was good.
Yeah.
But they had enough material. It should have been a trilogy. And what they should have done was they should have had the first movie just be about Billy. Strictly. Yeah. Don't introduce anyone else with the exception of a cameo appearance by Freddie and Mary. Okay? Because that's the way the comic was.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel and the Marvel family, that was the Captain, that was Mary Marvel, and it was Freddie. Mm-hmm. That's just the three of them. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't have all the other characters, but I would have waited until the sequel to introduce that aspect of the story.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked they brought all those folks in at the end of the first one. I was like,
that's right.
That seems like a lot.
That second movie felt like the end of the trilogy. That Fury of the Gods should have been the third movie of a trilogy, given how they ended it.
Yeah.
And Captain Mark.
The second movie should have been Mr. Mind and Dr. Sylvanas.
Yeah. Versus Billy, Mary, and Freddie.
Yep.
And then you introduce the concept somewhere during the story of all the other kids. And then you have the third. I would not have given all the other kids powers until the third act of the third movie. That's what I would have done.
Now, the reason why I said Anne was trying to make DC female was because was she behind the Batwoman movie as well?
Batgirl.
The one that they never released?
Batgirl.
Or Batgirl?
That was their way of trying to get.
Yeah, they were trying to get rid of Affleck and Cavill by changing the characters female, right? That's what I was talking.
Well, yeah. From basically from using the Flash movie to make changes so that you had Batgirl and that you had
Supergirl.
The alternate universe Supergirl be in the Justice League with Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and the Flash. That was the original plan.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Is that on her watch?
Yes.
Okay.
And
well, then she needs to be a lot higher than you got her. I'm just kidding.
Well,
although I do have to say, and as the biggest Supergirl fan, I do have to say that the Supergirl we saw in the Flash, if she'd had long blonde hair, would have been perfect. Would have been comic accurate and everything, because that chick, it was the little bit she's on the screen, she acts like Kara Zor-El from the comic book. She's a pissed off person, because unlike Superman, who only knows Earth, she remembers Krypton and is pissed off that it's gone.
That's to me is what makes Kara the character that she is. People keep talking about how it's hard to have her in there. And they've been making that mistake in Hollywood for years with the character.
I'm telling you, man.
This is someone who actually remembers what it was all like. So for her, it is truly tragic.
Yep.
What she can remember, because from her point of view, she comes from this incredible planet of all these wonders. Her dad is is an incredible scientist. Her uncle's one of the greatest scientists on the planet.
Yeah.
And she had one simple job.
Yeah.
Which is to survive this great cataclysm and to raise her cousin. And she couldn't do that.
And she couldn't do it.
Due to due to circumstances.
Yeah. So she's constantly questioning herself, and she's
right.
When she first gets here, she's a pissed off teenager, man. It's pretty cool, man. And you know, as bad as that movie is, that's the one thing that I enjoyed the hell out of, man. When Zod told her that the child didn't survive, she was like, "What did you do?" and flips out. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about."
That should have been
further. We need to pick it up because we've spent an hour on 2.
Oh, well,
so,
Gary spent a half an hour derailing too. So
yeah, but we've only got an hour to do 8. So
yeah, we'll pick it up. In fact, these next 2 will help us pick it up. Okay, so number 8 is Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson.
Well, there you go. That's not a hard one to explain.
Yeah, that's not a hard one to explain. The thing about and it goes along with who I have at number 7, which is J.J. Abrams. Here's the thing. Rian Johnson says he's a Star Wars fan, and yet he comes in. He hasn't really kept up on what JJ's doing. So they go ahead and they start work on his episode 8, just as everything was winding down with The Force Awakens. Okay? He comes in and he's decided, he along with the story group have decided that they're just gonna, they don't like what JJ's doing, so they're just gonna change everything. That is what we like to call, kids, a dick move. And it's a very expensive dick move. Okay? And look, I know there are some of you out there that are fans of the Last Jedi, but I'm telling you right now, there is no way you can get around that film not being a dick move. It's a very expensive dick move, but it's a dick move. And given what has come out, that has been revealed by Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro, it's a move that cost them a lot of money, a lot more than what they originally told us. And that film originally was to have made $500 to a full billion more than what The Force Awakens made, and didn't accomplish that. So, again, there's a lot of you out there, well, you know, The Last Jedi made money. Yeah, it did. Not as much money as they were hoping, but it made some money. The toy sales sucked, which is, you know, part of it. And again, movie comes out, makes $2 billion. The next movie comes out, makes 1.5. Not 2.5, not 3, 1.5. That's what we call a step down, kids. I don't care how you try to spin it, it's a step down. And to just do it because you can, because you are the world's biggest troll, is not a reason to do something. Because these films have to live beyond you. And again, these are not your characters. You know, when you adapt something, you're more of a custodian of someone else's idea.
Yes, you are.
You know, it's kind of like babysitting your nieces and nephews. They're your nieces and nephews. They aren't your kids. Okay? They're not your kids. Mm-hmm. You're only just keeping them overnight, and then you get to give them back. You know, you borrow something from your neighbor, lawnmower, the shears, whatever. It's not yours. You're borrowing it. That's it. And there's a lot of people in Hollywood that don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why things are kind of screwy. It's not the whole reason, but it's kind of screwy. With JJ definitely earned his place on this list because he unleashed a lot of the people that are on this list.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Yes. Absolutely. And he's a wrecker of not one but two franchises when you think about it. You know?
Well, if you think about the damage done by the people that he unleashed on this list, it's
a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Look.
Well, real quick before we get too far from it, the Star Wars thing, the fact that you've got JJ ahead of Rian Johnson, I love. I think that's awesome because you can say what you want about The Last Jedi. The one thing I did like about that movie is something we had heard about so many times in the Sith lore about the apprentice killing the master and becoming the master. We actually saw it. We actually saw it happen, right? And I thought that was cool. Now, everything around that was complete garbage, you know, a chase in space because of fuel and all this just ridiculousness all around that shit. But I thought that moment in the movie was really cool.
As Knock would say, look, another timer.
Right, another timer. Yeah, my God. Yeah, don't get Knock on this subject. He'll lose his mind. But but I think the critical drinker said it best, and you know the worst one out of any of them. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody says Last Jedi's the worst one. It's not. It's that last one they made. The Rise of Skywalker is the biggest piece of garbage in Star Wars history. I'm sorry. I didn't think they'd ever make something as worse than Attack of the Clones, but they did. And I it's a phenomenal feat they pulled off. Really, they did. And
may I interject?
Yeah.
Hang on one second. Let me finish my thought. Drinker said this about it. He said it was like watching two kids fight over toys in a sandbox, and the sandbox is worth billions of dollars. You know, it was just the dumbest thing in the world. You know, go ahead, Martin.
Yeah, I can see that because how can I put this in English? Yeah, the Last Jedi was offensive to the fans. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The second one, the next movie, the Rise of Palpatine.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah.
Yeah,
Rise of Palpatine, you're absolutely right. They should have done
that was insulting to the intellect of everyone. That was the dumbest movie I have ever seen. And we have a word in Spanish for that kind of dumbness. It's a dumbness applicable only to a child.
Yeah.
And that is when people come to me, did you like the last one? Yes. How do you think it's the dumbest movie I ever seen? It's not. I don't know what is. But yeah, it's worse. The dumbness is worse than to be insulting.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to interject this, and the reason why The Last Jedi is worse than Rise of Palpatine is because all of the problems of Rise of Palpatine stem from things Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi.
But why couldn't? No, wait a minute. Why couldn't JJ take the stuff that this guy screwed up and actually, instead of totally breaking it by bringing Palpatine back, why didn't he just make Kylo Ren the main villain and just go from there? No, what JJ did with the last one is worse. I don't care how you slice it. It's worse.
Somehow Palpatine has returned. Fuck that.
Let me interject something. By the time JJ got called back to make this movie, he wasn't really feeling it anymore. And I think part of the reason is that Kathleen and the story group and a few other people basically told him what the score was, which is basically The reason why we deviated from what you had is because what you have wasn't working for us. So nothing that you do is going to matter in the ultimate way that we want to tell this story. You know, you either tell it the way we want, or we will find a way of changing it anyway. So basically, JJ checked out, is what I heard. This is what I've heard.
And it shows on the
from people
screen.
in the know.
What you're saying
Yeah, it
shows on the screen. It does.
He checked out.
But with all that said, it produced one of the greatest things you'll ever watch. I highly recommend it. It's by Mahler, Rise of Skywalker, and Unbridled Rage. It is so much better than the movie itself. It's longer than the movie itself, and you will laugh your ass off for 2.5 hours.
I only saw the one for the Last Jedi. It was 6 hours. It was 6 episodes of 1 hour each.
Yeah, he did several. Yeah, he did several of them. But the one he did for Rise of Skywalker was fantastic. If you guys have never seen it, go watch it. It's on Mahler's channel. It is so great. It was so good. Oh my god. I watch that about once every couple of months. Yeah.
Let me at least say this about J.J. Abrams being number 7. Him being number 7 is for more than just Star Wars, though.
Yeah, I was going to say multiple franchises here we're talking about. Yeah.
He's up number 7, you know, not just because of Star Trek either. He's at number 7 because he was trying to spread himself out there into other franchises. And one thing that he was able to grab a hold of was Batman. You know, they have that animated Batman series, which is yet to actually, at least I don't know if it's actually premiered yet. I don't think it has.
Spider-Man, remember that?
Yeah, well, that's the Spider-Man comic book he and his son were trying to do, which they never finished. And then you have the Superman movie. Which again, you know, speaking as a man of color, let me just say this. When the one actor that you were hoping to get tells you the reason why he's saying no is because there was no need to do what you were doing with this character. And he suggests a character that would allow you to not only hire him, but would make more sense. And you act like you're not interested. That says a lot to me, you know, as to your reasonings why you're wanting to do this. So it made no sense. None of it made any sense for him to make that Superman film. It just didn't. It was just dumb. And while Ta-Nehisi Coates was also working on it, I would tell Ta-Nehisi Coates, look, man, why didn't you just work on the Icon movie?
Yeah.
Because that's what Michael B. Jordan wanted to do. They could have used you, brother, on that one. You know, you should have made an Icon. If you're interested in making a Superman film, a black Superman film, Icon. There you go. Icon, starring Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been a big hit. That could have been bigger than Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it would have spawned a franchise.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You chose not to do that. And JJ, come on, if you're interested in doing something with people of color, this project would have been fantastic for you.
Yeah. But that's the modus operandi of every one of these guys that don't understand what they're dealing with.
That's right.
They just want to take what they've already created and bend it to what they want to use it for. And
that's right.
You know, good on Michael B. Jordan for suggesting that in the first place. That's a guy that obviously a fan. He's obviously a fan of stuff like that.
Well, at that time he was hooked in with Milestone because Milestone was starting its own studio deal for making films. And Icon would have been used as a jump-off point to eventually bring all the rest of the Milestone characters to life. And the next film after Icon would have been
Static.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but all that's fallen apart. Everybody that was associated with that's now gone. That window has now closed. And I just have to shake my head and I think about JJ and I think about Ta-Nehisi Coates and I think you two jokers cost us an Icon movie.
Yep.
So
and destroyed a bunch of stuff you put your hands on.
that's it.
This is the problem that these people don't understand. They think, oh, well, we need to take something that's beloved and change it rather than making something new. So it's like,
Yes.
well, they're saying if you're black, you're not good enough to have your own Superman. So we just have to make Superman black. If you're gay, if you're gay, you're not good enough to have your own character. So we'll just make this character gay. No, that's not how that should work.
That have been following this forever know that that's not the case because of characters like Icon. You know, I mean,
and when you boil it down
right
to
there.
it, it's extremely racist and extremely homophobic to do things that way.
Yep.
Not to mention short-sighted, because more IPs can conduce to more income.
More
Yep.
You
revenue
have more to
streams.
offer.
Hello.
And guess what? People can be fans of more than one thing at once.
Damn straight.
Imagine that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This goes out to the young actors that played Batgirl that's still doing a lot of talking about her movie. Your film was never meant for theatrical release, just like Blue Beetle technically wasn't originally started as a theatrical feature. Okay? Maybe you should spend more time on bringing another DC comic hero to life that I think you'd be better for. Like, I don't know, Jessica Cruz.
There you go. Yeah. Well, we'll be lucky if we ever get any Lantern content, period. So.
Oh, you won't be lucky to see anyone outside of either Hal or John.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting guys.
That's they seem to be stuck on. Well, for now, I still am of the opinion that could change.
Yeah.
That could change. But that brings us to the next two names on the list.
6 and 5.
And so
It's got to be bad if they're above those two. Wow.
Number 6, I have Alex Kurtzman.
Knew he was going to be up here. I figured he'd be higher on your list, though. As much as you love Star Trek.
Oh no! Trust me. Like I said, I've changed this list so many times, but I think my top 3 are very self-explanatory.
I know who number 5 is if Kurtzman's 6.
Alex Kurtzman, acolyte of J.J. Abrams, a guy who I really can't understand has any power, although if what Script Doctor has told me, I mean, I know it's correct, but if I'm to understand this, his power isn't so much that he's truly creative. He kisses up really well to the executives, is really what it comes down to. They love
My
him.
wife and I are actually revisiting something with both Abrams and Kurtzman attached to it, and that's Fringe. I'd never watched it when it was on TV, and we're really enjoying the series. And they were two of the
Fringe
3
was
producers
good.
on
And
it.
I don't know, I don't know what happened from between then and now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll let you in on a secret. Where are you in watching Fringe right now?
I'm in the 2nd season, about halfway through.
By the time the 2nd season had started, you'll notice in the credits that there are 2 other producers outside of Kurtzman and Orsi who are named. Those are the 2 guys who are running the whole thing.
Okay.
By the time
Orsi's the 3rd guy we see on the credits at the beginning with J.J. Abrams and Kurtzman.
Yeah,
Orsi. Mm-hmm.
Orsi is Alex Kurtzman's ex-writing partner because they had been together since high school, and they started out on Hercules: The Legendary Journeys together, and they both got hired to leave that to go to work for J.J. Abrams. And eventually, just like happened within the world of Star Trek with a certain writer and his ex-partner, in this particular instance, one of the partners had favorable treatment from the boss, and the other one wasn't so much.
Yeah.
And, Orsi was the big Star Trek fan of the 2 of them. Alex Kurtzman is not a Star Trek fan at all.
It's obvious he's not.
He's just
Completely
not.
obvious.
And I keep telling people, if you own a copy of the 2009 Star Trek, go to the special features and just watch those videos. And one of those videos they have on there is a special Star Trek trivia contest between the two producers, the two writers, and JJ. And the person who won by a mile versus everyone else was Robert Orsi.
Yeah.
Because he was the only one out of the 5 of them that has seen all 79 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Now, the producers did very well. JJ fell somewhere in the middle. And then you go down. If we're headed downward, just go straight down, a couple
The very
miles
bottom.
down past hell. Keep going.
Yep.
And that's Alex Kurtzman's score.
Yeah, he got a negative score.
He got a negative score. And yeah. And this is the guy they decided. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say something just occurred to me about J.J. Abrams and his magic box, or his mystery box.
Mystery box?
His mystery box is where he puts the souls of his acolytes.
There you go. There it is.
No. Not that's the thing. His mystery box. It's a Schrödinger box. You don't know if his acolyte has a soul or not.
Yikes, man.
I can't. Yeah. You guys are probably right.
Yeah, I know what you think, and I've actually given Star Trek on Paramount a chance, and the only 2 good things I can say about it is they did a really good casting job with Pike. They did a great casting job with Pike, you know. And the only other good thing I can say about it is Picard season 3. That's it. The rest of it is complete
which
crap.
Kurtzman had nothing to do with.
Yeah, which these guys had nothing to do with. It's obvious that somebody that digs the fucking Next Generation made that show.
Terry Matalas.
Because every time at the end of every episode, when I thought they couldn't one-up themselves, they did. I was like, wow. This is the
even
building
the
block
credits.
of a great show. Oh,
Even the
man.
credits are awesome. You see in the
Yes.
credit little tidbits that what has happened and what is going to happen.
Right. It was amazing what they did with that 3rd season. But that's them washing their hands of it and letting and somebody else saying, "Hey, man, let me do it. Just let me have it for 5 minutes." That actually digs the stuff. Yeah.
Now, according to recent reports, time is running out. And as we've heard, there was one person that was not very happy with the success of season 3 of Picard. Anybody want to take a guess as to who that was?
And that was Kurtzman.
That's right. His ego could not take the fact that people really enjoyed season 3 of Picard. So basically, time is running out for them to go ahead and do this deal to make the new show, Star Trek Legacy. Something tells me that they're not going to make it, that the show will not be happening. Wolverine 626. I'm curious as to what the state of Star Trek would be if Roberto Orci was in charge instead of Kurtzman. Roberto Orci was to have directed the 3rd Star Trek film. And the story and the direction that he had was, from its description, more in line with traditional Trek, which is part of the reason why eventually he was removed from both writing and directing the movie and was replaced. So there you go. Oh, and Star Trek Into Darkness, you do know that Benedict Cumberbatch was not the first choice for Khan.
Yeah,
he was a horrible choice for Khan.
Yeah, but he was the studio's idea because the person who they originally had backed out, basically.
Who was it?
It was what's his name? Who was in Star Wars: The Last Jedi? He was the guy that they met.
Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, Benicio del Toro.
The
Wow,
fuck?
he would have been fucking great. Oh my god, let me go
That's-
get my coffee.
that's-
Holy shit.
That's Roberto Orsi's thing. He knew Benicio del Toro could do it. And for whatever reason, del Toro said no. He passed on the whole thing. Something about not doing these funny comic book movies or whatever. And then what happens? He ends up signing up for Star Wars and for Marvel.
Yep.
So obviously somebody pissed him off. But they had the original drawings that they were doing for the costumes and everything. And the costumes for Khan, they're all drawn with Benicio del Toro's head on it. So there you go.
Yeah. So number 5 is tied into number 6.
Yep. It's an Academy Award winner there, kids. We all know him. Some of us kind of love him, but I don't know why. And it is Akiva Goldsman.
Yep, I knew it.
And you're wondering, well, why does Akiva Goldsman rank higher than Alex Kurtzman? Well, Alex Kurtzman's a little ball of hate. Akiva Goldsman's crazy because he honestly believes that he is a Star Trek fan. He says that he watched all 79 episodes. But here's what really, in my mind, makes him crazy. He believes that because he's the one behind Strange New Worlds. In case you didn't know, Strange New Worlds was not an idea from Alex Kurtzman. He didn't want Strange New Worlds. Akiva Goldsman did the deal with CBS to make that. He went behind Kurtzman's back to get that deal done. Because he sold CBS on the fact that, oh, the fans are going to love this show. This is exactly what Star Trek is. They're going to love it. Well, here's the thing you need to understand about Akiva Goldsman. Every time they do a Strange New Worlds episode that contradicts anything in the series or anything related to any of the stuff that came after, in his mind, they're readjusting it to make it fit the future of Star Trek. Meaning that when he writes to change something that Gene Roddenberry, Gene L. Kuhn, Dorothy Fontana, or any of the writers came up with originally, it's still in keeping with all of that for the original series. So in his mind, he's not really contradicting it. He's improving it to make it happen.
I enjoyed the first couple of episodes of Strange New Worlds. But when they had the Predator / Alien be the Gorn, I kind of checked out. And then everything since, I mean, they've got a descendant of Khan Noonien Singh having a friggin' makeout session with Captain Kirk. It's shitty fan fiction, man. It's really, really bad.
Again,
really bad.
That character's existence on this show means automatically that Kirk, Spock, Uhura, and Scotty are all liars.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. It's dumb. It's completely dumb, man. Yeah. It's horrible.
It's not dumb.
It's unfortunate.
It's more better.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you in on where we're going next because, again, I might surprise you guys with this. Number 4. I want to say it's not so much that I cheated, so much as that it's more than just one person. And I had to put this on there because they've earned it.
It's a great, now that I'm looking at it, it's a great pick, man. It really is. It's, yeah.
Number 4, I present to you the Lucasfilm Story Group. They have collectively done as much, if not more, damage than any single person has done to Star Wars.
To every franchise Lucasfilm had. Every single one of them.
Everyone. Yep.
Guys,
Yeah.
guys,
Yep.
I'm gonna change the brand of the studio because I need a video to celebrating those people.
Just change it to Pucus Film. That's all you got.
No.
Pucus Film.
No,
Story
he's
Group.
got to go into another brand to get the video he wants to play.
Oh,
Yeah.
that isn't here. I don't believe it.
No.
Got deleted.
Apparently,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Because when you say the Star Wars story group, I only can think about Don saying those sons
Sons of bitches. Damn it. No, it's not the Star Wars. I know what you meant, Martin, but let's be clear. It's not the Star Wars
It's
story group.
Lucasfilm.
It is the Lucasfilm story group. Okay? They
Because-
destroyed Willow. They destroyed Indiana Jones. They destroyed
Yes,
Star
they did.
Wars.
Mhm.
Everything that guy built, they have wrecked. Every bit of it.
Gladly.
Yes.
They,
At
they,
least
they,
they haven't-
they
at
didn't
least
feel
they
bad
had-
about it.
At least they didn't mess with Monkey Island.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So
Don't
look,
give them
there's
their
no
hold my beer moment now. Come on now. Don't do that.
there's not much more we can put on these guys. They are just bad.
Yep.
And when you Google their picture, because they had to take a group picture together, you can definitely tell none of these people were really Star Wars fans. You know,
this is how bad it is, folks. They did such a bad job on Willow that it was pulled so that they could friggin' write it off their taxes as
Yep.
a loss. That's how bad it is. You can't
Yeah.
even watch it now.
If you were one of the people that luckily found a way to record that, you got something there.
You have got gold.
Yeah.
I've got it because I archive everything. So
Wow.
Well, that brings us to number 3. Now we're entering our top 3, everybody. Now, one would have thought that this particular name probably might have been higher, but, you know. But number 3, Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Entertainment.
And what's funny is I remember you defending this guy at one time.
I did. I and a lot of
You
people
did.
defended this guy. And that was before I found out, well, does anybody here remember what the purpose of Marvel Studios originally was?
I mean, I don't know what their mission statement was, but I know what I
was-
perceived as trying to bring some of the greatest comic book characters ever to the big screen.
Okay, that's almost it. What it was to take the Marvel IP as presented in the comics and to turn them into films so as to bring recognition and fandom over to what they were doing to the original source, which was the comics.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
That was the purpose of Marvel Studios, because Marvel Studios was started as the film division of Marvel Entertainment, or
Right.
in this case, a comic book company decided to start their own movie studio.
yep.
Yeah.
That's why.
Hey,
That's why
And it's
Iron
a
Man
brilliant it
comic
was
book
a
accurate.
brilliant move. It was a brilliant move.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
Iron Man was comic book accurate. That's why Cap was comic book accurate. That's why Thor was comic book accurate. That's why the Hulk was even comic book accurate.
Yep.
And then we get to Phase 4. And you know what I've realized? It has taken me a while to get to this point. I was also one of those guys that said, yeah, you know, that Ike Perlmutter was a real SOB for the things he said. He wasn't good for that company. It's a good thing Kevin Feige decided to go to Bob Iger and to have Iger just remove Marvel Studios from underneath Marvel Entertainment and just to put it off to the side to allow him to be able to make the movies and stuff that he wanted to make. Yeah, that asshole. Anyway,
Well, he
guy
tried to
back
save us
then.
from Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Look. First of all, let me just say this. To Ike Promoter, I'm sorry. I now realize what you were trying to save all of us from.
Yeah.
Again, you and I may not agree on everything, but I agree that you were definitely doing the job. You were Gandalf trying to save us from the Balrog. And
Careful, man! There's a beverage here.
Well,
Oh man, that's too good.
Kevin Feige's purpose or place on this list is best summed up as you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And earn it.
I think you could draw parallels between him and Kevin Smith too. I mean, he started off doing some good stuff, and wow, did that go? I guess it's a case of someone getting so full of themselves that they think they can do anything.
Well,
again, for this guy, we need the clip of Obi-Wan yelling to Anakin, "You were the chosen one!"
Right? You were the chosen one.
Look, I gotta say this also. After you hear what happened when they were making Endgame,
I'll try, Penny.
When you hear, when you hear what happened when they were making Endgame, obviously it seems like Kevin had his own ideas of how to move everything forward. And when you realize that all of the creative people who started out with him in phases 1, 2, and 3, with the exception of about 2 or 3, everyone else is gone.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. All the creative, the writers, directors, a lot of those, they're gone. They're gone. So what we have been getting is the pure, unadulterated, unaltered Kevin Feige and his people. And I do mean that, and his people. Because that whole making a rule, I mean, think about this. Remember what I said about what the idea behind Marvel Studios was?
Yeah.
So to have an interview with one of the producers for the Hollywood Reporter, and they say that they have a rule that no fans are to be hired to write Marvel movies.
Nate Moore.
And again, you may hate Nate Moore, but who's his boss?
Kevin Feige.
You can't just make that stick. Feige has to be behind that. There's no way to protect Feige on that one. This is Feige's rule. And yet Feige's running Marvel, technically. Because he's now running the comics, which suck. He's running
now, guys.
TV.
This is from Keith, the guy that used to give him the benefit of the doubt and thought he was trying to juggle too many things at once.
Yes.
Yeah. Ultimately it's down to that guy right there. He makes the decisions.
Yeah.
He signs off on this stuff. So he's got to take the bullets.
He could have easily retired after phase 3 and just walked off into the sunset, being one of the biggest savior of film history. I mean, all that money that they made. Think about all the money they made in phases 1, 2, and 3, and think about where they are right now as we are creeping up on the premiere of the Marvels.
Ooh.
He is behind all of it. There is no excuse. None. So there you go.
Marvel's going to tank even though everything got out of its way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's that bad.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. So
number 2.
Drum roll, as these last 2. These are going to be a doozy, kids. But I thought about it. I thought long and hard. I fought it. And here we go, kids. Number 2 is
Kathleen Kennedy.
Victoria Alonso.
Oh.
Victoria Alonso.
Wow.
Now, here's my reasoning.
The DIE of Marvel Entertainment.
She did more damage in a short amount of time than just about almost anybody else on this list, save one. Remember, because of the job that they created for her, because they didn't want to bring her up any further within the company. She ran all of the post-production visual effects for all the films. Okay?
Yeah.
So phase 4 all the way through. You notice as the visual effects get bad, she's in charge.
And they got worse. They got progressively worse.
Yes.
They really did.
So unlike with Warner Brothers, The Flash, because all I can say is Ann Sarnoff signed off on a lot of that stuff, but she wasn't in charge of visual effects.
Well, I think I think the Flash visuals were just a matter of Zaslav going, we're not putting any more money.
We're not putting any more money into it. Yeah, it looked very unfinished.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the CGI in the Marvel universe, it started with the Eternals. I hate to say this, but since Endgame, the best really CGI they've had was in Black Widow and the big thing at the end of it. That was the best they've done.
Joe, you forgot about the scene where your villain.
No, he's saying the best they've done. He didn't say that it's good.
What the
he didn't say it was good.
In Black Widow.
Okay.
Everything else has gone straight off the cliff, and it's gotten progressively worse. And it's because she wanted they gave her the reins of it. She said, "Okay, I'm going to make it. I'm going to save them a bunch of money and work people."
However, for me, the problem started with Black Panther. I mean, the final fight between Black Panther and Killmonger looks horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It looks like a PlayStation 2 cutscene.
Yeah.
Look, for me, when you have somebody that's some executive who obviously never read comics and is forcing everybody in the company to change the name of characters created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and to stop calling the X-Men and call them the mutants, we have a problem.
Yeah, you're way off base. You're pissing off your fan base.
She came up with that. That was her.
And to run a CGI shop like it's a sweatshop, that's stupid. These guys are artists. You can't just lock them down.
Look what Wolverine says.
Yeah, you're right, Wolverine 626. It says a lot when now they're all wanting to unionize.
Yeah.
You know what? They deserve it because they've been worked to death under her. I mean, jeez. Come on.
Yeah, Wolverine, you're right about that one. It was bad. The chick playing the Taskmaster, her head, yeah, that was bad. But what I was talking about was the big set piece at the end of it, the red room falling from the sky. That was actually pretty cool looking. It was over the top. There's no way any of that would have happened, but it was cool looking.
And gravity doesn't work that way.
No.
I have argued before that Black Widow and Shang-Chi are not powered heroes the same way that you have with the Fantastic Four.
Right. Hawkeye's not either.
Captain.
Yeah.
No. What you need is something like, for Black Widow, I would have used the movie Salt, because Salt really is a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Black Widow is. You don't need people falling from the sky. You don't need huge explosions. You need a movie like Salt with Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
That's exactly what Black Widow should have been. That movie should not have cost any more than what Joker cost, or any more than what any of the Bourne films cost, at least initially.
No, you just get stuntmen that are really good at capturing fights, and you make an epic spy story. You know, that's what it should have been.
John Wick. John Wick fighting.
Right.
Yeah. Solved it. Anyway, number one. Okay, everybody, look.
Here we are.
It's not hard to figure out who this is. Not hard.
Yeah, it really isn't if you've been paying attention to who we've named. Let's just go ahead and just for those that have not been keeping up, are to recap the list. At number 10, we had Ted Biaselli from Netflix. Number 9, Ann Sarnoff. Number 8, Ruin Johnson. Number 7, J.J. Abrams. Number 6, Alex Kurtzman. Number 5 was his good buddy Akiva Goldsman, who somehow got himself an Academy Award. And number 3 was number 4. I'm sorry, was the Lucasfilm Story Group, because they're so bad. I'm wanting to skip them.
Such a great. That may be my favorite pick you made. That really. Oh.
Number 3, Kevin Feige, President, Marvel Entertainment. How you could go from what Netflix did to what he did to
some
everything
of the greatest
with Disney
comic
Plus.
book stuff
That's ego
ever put
right there.
on TV.
That is ego. Kevin Feige's ego. Your ego. You
just wrecked it.
Yeah, you just wrecked it, dude. Number 2, Victoria Alonso. And at number 1, this person definitely deserves this spot. I'm going to miss her when she's gone.
No, you're not.
Enough. Yeah, I'm going to miss her. At number 1, it's retiring president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy.
Retiring? When's she retiring?
She's supposed to be
They're not
retiring
gonna-
this year.
Yeah, they're not renewing. Yeah, they're not renewing her contract.
Why do you guys
That's
continue to tease me with this bullshit?
That's because she's.
I don't want to
she's
hear
been-
another thing about retiring or quitting or anything like that or firing until it actually happens. Stop
she's
teasing
been
me.
She's been negotiating her exit right now. That's what she's been doing. Hey, Wolverine 626, Jeff Loeb was amazing with Netflix.
Yeah.
And the fact that Kevin Feige had him removed, to me, I mean, look,
Hubris.
Pure
Jeff hubris.
What he did with the Fox shows, I mean, look, a lot of what they did was not that good. But I have to say this. What he was able to accomplish with just Legion. The first season of Legion is one of the best Marvel TV shows presented on television. Full stop. It's in
Yeah,
the
that's
top
one I
3.
never saw. And I've heard it's great. I need to go back and revisit
Look
it.
what he did with Gifted.
There's been several mutant shows that I haven't seen.
That's one that doesn't get a lot of praise because it flew under a lot of people's radar.
I love The Gifted. I love The Gifted.
You know, Gifted did a lot to deal with as dealing with comic accurate as well as you could in the real world.
That's it. And you know what? Personally, I like The Runaways.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people didn't. I like The Runaways. I even like Cloak and Dagger. It wasn't the best, but I liked it.
Yeah.
All that went away when Kevin Feige got in trouble because he got rid of Jeff Loeb. And it's like, really, dude? You're just allergic to making money?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're retarded. Yeah. I mean, even the worst Netflix series, Iron Fist, which I think we can all agree was the worst one.
Way better.
Was at least passable. You know, my brother called him Iron Puss, but you know, hey.
Okay.
Still,
this is.
I would take another season of Iron Fist before I would take another season of any of the Marvel stuff.
Oh, for sure.
On Disney Plus.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Iger, he gets a special mention. Mentally.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we disagree. I would put him at number 1 and shove everybody down because there's one guy responsible for
all of
Feige,
the things we're talking about.
Victoria Alonso, keeping Kathleen Kennedy in place. All the crap that we've been talking about, J.J. Abrams, all this stuff. The guy that's responsible for everything that's happened to
the guy that's
Lucasfilm,
responsible for the top 4 on your list, bro.
Yes.
Here. Okay, hold on. Let me defend myself. And this is also going to answer what Wolverine 626 is putting out there. Okay, here's something. This goes right to what you're saying. My thing with Iger is this. As much as I don't like the guy, I at least have to give him credit. and this is what I mean. Because of the way Iger ran Disney, that afforded Marvel to do something that they never would have been allowed to do working for any other studio. Okay? They never would have had this with Paramount. They never would have had this with Universal. They never would have had this with Warner Brothers, and definitely would never have had this with Fox, which is this: allowing creatives to basically run their own asylum. It worked with Marvel because, again, look at all the money they made. They hired creative people who were fans. No other studio would have or has ever done that. That's the difference between DC and all the other comic book companies that have tried to do this and what they were able to do for a short period of time at Disney, which is you've allowed a group of people to have access to a lot of money and to basically do what they wanted to do. They've never done that in the history of Universal, Fox, Paramount, or Warner Brothers. So anybody that thinks that you can go to Warner Brothers and do that exact same thing, you need to ask yourself, are they going to allow their creatives to have creative freedom?
Obviously,
they're not.
No.
So
it's obvious
I don't
in the
know
product
why.
they put out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the thing is it's obvious from the way that they're even running things now. Look at what's going on with Marvel Studios. You put one person in charge, and eventually their ego catches up with them. I mean, you got a lot of money passing through your hands. You got a lot of big stars, big actors, big talent who are kissing up to you 24/7, 365. And eventually that does catch up. You know, when the brothers were working on Infinity War and Endgame, when they gave the interview about what Feige had originally wanted to do with the original Avengers in that film, you can definitely tell that whatever was wrong with Kathleen Kennedy as far as her decision-making skills were already affecting Kevin Feige. Because his idea was, well, we're just going to kill off the original Avengers at the end of the movie. In other words, Tony and Natasha were the beginning. He was trying to kill off all the other Avengers. Hulk, Cap, Hawkeye, he wanted them all dead. And they had to stop him from doing it because they said, look, you killing off Tony, that's a major emotional blow. You can't end the movie like that. If you kill off all the original Avengers, people are going to leave the theater and they're not going to want to really come back to the movie. So, you know, that's how much he's lost it.
Well, I want you to stop teasing me with Kathleen leaving because it hasn't happened yet. I just got done with Ahsoka. We talked about that last night and how flat that ended.
Lots of
And stop teasing me. Stop teasing me about Kathleen.
And I
she's still the evil queen.
I understand what you say about, you know, them allowing the creatives at Marvel to do what they did. And that's why Iger may get a slight pass. But let me explain it this way. Even Mussolini had the trains running on time.
I agree.
Just because they do one good deed does not make and it does not excuse everything else they've done that's bad.
I know. No, I agree with you, John. I'm down with you. I'm just saying.
And one thing about Marvel, that train was on the tracks and full momentum before Disney bought it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know, in allowing them to do what they needed to do. As I explained it, you know, it's just basically Iger going, look, you come in, and as long as you make money, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to get mad. I don't have to come down there and rework.
That worked until their plan, Endgame, was done.
Yeah.
Once that was done, they didn't have a plan after that, and it shows.
That's right.
And
So no other studio can do that though.
Yeah. But,
You know, I mean, I wish some of you Marvel heads out there understood what I'm saying, because for some of you, it's like, well, you know, it's just because it's DC. It has nothing to do with DC. I am talking about the way studios run.
yeah.
No other studio did that. No other studio has ever thought of really to do that and has gone through with it the way that Disney had. The thing is, Disney benefited for a little while in doing that.
DC was gonna do it with Snyder.
DC, well,
They were gonna do it with Snyder. They were gonna let him do it.
No.
No.
That I did learn from script. No, that was not what the plan was.
Really?
Plan,
Because I thought
yeah.
it was Man of Steel being a little darker movie than I expected.
No.
Was why they changed
No.
course. But
No. That was never the plan. The plan was to have these movies made. But because they weren't going to give that kind of creative freedom, what they were trying to do is from top down running everything. In other words, they kept talking about making Marvel, doing what Marvel does, but they didn't follow all the steps. That's like saying, hey, I'm going to make some chocolate chip cookies. So I brought some dandelions, got a little bit of sugar, figure I'd bring in some peanuts, maybe some tuna. I'm gonna mix in some hamburger. I'm gonna mix this all together and create some great chocolate chip cookies.
I think you're absolutely right with your number one, though. I have to beg to differ with John, because Kathleen Kennedy's the worst thing that's happened to.
Yeah,
again, she's responsible for the story group. You know. Yeah. Oh, come on. Ugh.
She and Kevin Feige were left to their own devices, and notice all of the heads of the three companies that are kind of sort of run loosely within Disney, they all made the list.
Yep.
Overall,
have you got? Did you have the Pixar person in there?
Yeah, Pixar. Yeah. Pixar was in my last list. They were part of the
I didn't see the first part of it, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you've not seen the first part, you can go back and watch it. We put that up about 2 weeks ago. Okay. But this is the conclusion to that list, and hopefully I've been able to get you guys to understand why I was having so many problems trying to put together this top 10. Because
I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome.
I struggled. I really did struggle with this because my top 5.
We all know you wanted to put Alex Kurtzman number 1 because you love Star Trek. We understand that, but you couldn't do it.
Actually, my original number 1 was originally going to be J.J. Abrams because of how his influence is seeded into everything.
You can't give him that much credit, though. I mean, JJ just seems to me like a clueless buffoon. He just does. Any interview I've ever seen him in, he looks like he's totally clueless.
I say this in all sincerity. Matt Reeves is the Batman. After his interviews about being such a big Batman fan, and then he gives us that. Remember, he was given full access to Ben Affleck's The Batman script and chose not to use it to write his own Batman script that he said was going to be comic book accurate. And he gave us Dumb 7 is what he gave us. Because it's 7 done with Batman characters in a dumb way.
I did that for Martin. I know that's his favorite thing about the Batman.
It's how could you write a Batman script where both Batman and Commissioner Gordon are stupid?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Okay. Lady of the Elements, yes, they are, because it's all under the diversity and inclusion. If these companies want to get money from the big money launderers, money lenders, sorry, not launderers.
It's all about ESG, guys. All you have to do is follow the money. All you have to do is follow the money. You see why all of our favorite shit has been just nuked and destroyed.
Because all these leftists has gotten into positions of power in these financial companies. And now they're demanding all these changes to society, and they're holding back the money if they don't get it. And that's what's
You
happening.
know, Amazon still has enough money to change their mind and give us more seasons of a certain television show they got from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, which
I'm just
they
saying.
still owe us 3 seasons.
They
I don't know, man. I don't know. Without Alex, real?
Yeah, it's true.
No. Wait. Where the show ended is where those characters ended within the overall story. If they do it,
minus Alex.
Yeah, Alex has a different.
I'm
ending,
clueless. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, The Expanse.
The Expanse.
The Expanse. Okay.
But I will say this: if they were to do more, that means you're going to follow the books where they go next, and I think it's about 1,000-year jump in the story. So there's no way to really continue using these characters unless you can
years.
get. I thought it was 1,000-year jump.
Oh no, it's just like 20 or 30.
20 or 30? Still,
yeah.
Is it 20? You're moving the story a decade or two beyond where it is. I just, given who is the focus of those stories and how they're going to try to tell those stories, yeah.
You had to have. I forgot the character's name, but you had to give him time to consolidate his power on the planet where he took over before coming out of there and just taking over everything else.
Yeah.
So,
and the Expanse was such a good show that Akiva Goldsman had to basically borrow one of the characters for his show, Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Because that's where Khan's granddaughter's character comes from. Both in look and action comes from one of the characters used in the Expanse.
She's Drummer.
That's Drummer. That is Drummer.
But if you want to experience real Drummer and not fake Drummer, go play the Expanse Telltale game that's focused around Drummer.
Yep.
Which is on my list of things I want to play here at some point.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who have never seen The Expanse, as soon as you're done watching this, you need to go and watch it. Trust me on this. It'll be one of the best things you can watch. And you too will then be joining the rest of us and saying, hey, Amazon, if you're going to poison our minds by giving us more rings of power, the least you can do.
Amazon, it's so scatterbrained, man, because we get good shit like the Terminal List, and we get Reacher, and then we get the Rings of Power and Wheel of Time.
Oh, it's even worse.
I don't get how the same company can come up with such great stuff and such horrible dreck at the same time. It's just weird.
Look at who's in charge of Amazon.
Yeah.
Hey, look at what they're going to do to James Bond. I keep telling people. 5, 6, 7 years ago. Look at all the people whose names were being considered for James Bond, and notice none of these people are now aiming to be Bond now because of what they said they're going to do to the character. So,
well, I am a Bond fanatic, so I will go see it whenever they do come out with it. I'm just hoping that the environment changes. I'm really hoping that my idea of why all this strike stuff happened comes to fruition. I think that these guys in Hollywood have lost enough money now that they realize they cannot keep shitting on us, the fans, and they did a purge. I really believe that that's what this whole strike business is about. They're purging the dead weight, and they're going to get, Taylor Sheridan has been knocking stuff out of the park for a little bit now, and everybody's noticed it. And I really believe that it's a reboot of the Hollywood system. And
well,
looking forward to seeing what we get in a year to see if I'm right.
2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
but
it's going to be 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
You notice that they put that clause in there that single or small, or with already limited writers' rooms are exempt from their minimum number of writers, which is Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah,
that's the Taylor Sheridan clause, because
that's it.
If it would have completely ruined everything Taylor Sheridan does if he has to have a whole
right. If he had to have 10 other people in there with him that sucked, absolutely. Yeah. I hear you.
Well,
I really think it's a purge, guys, and I'm, of course, you know me, I'm the glass half full guy.
Yeah.
Yes, my eyes are wide open. I know what's up, but I hold out hope that this creative process one day will be giving back to us, the people that love this stuff, and eventually we'll get some good stuff. I'm hoping this is the next stepping stone in that direction. I'm hoping.
Well, it goes.
I can hope. I can hope.
It was going back to what I was saying about who has the money.
Yeah,
we've got to get rid of the people that have the money, like that are demanding all this diversity and inclusion stuff instead of allowing it to exist naturally. Adding this stuff artificially.
Or at least bringing us characters that would allow us to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the biggest thing. You're avoiding creatives and characters and stories that already have that. That's what gets me. You know, we should have an icon movie by now.
Yeah.
We should. There's no reason why we shouldn't have an icon movie. In fact, DC should have given us a Bumblebee movie by now. Not that Bumblebee. But the original Bumblebee, who was a part of the Teen Titans. And that movie would rock. I'm telling you. But you know,
and Marvel wants a gay character. They've got one. They've got one that's been around, that's been gay forever. In fact, had the first gay wedding in comics.
That's right. Preach.
I mean,
it's true.
North Star's been a gay icon forever. For at least 30
not
years.
By accident. From the very beginning. That character was conceived of as a gay character from the very, very beginning. And has never changed. And you've never seen anything with that character. In fact, I still don't know of any plans to bring that character to live action. And I'm looking at my watch going, this explanation is going to be good. Eventually, Kevin Feige is going to tell us what this explanation is, the reason why they can't have North Star. Yeah. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm sure it's a good explanation. Anyway, I want to thank everybody. This has been a really fun show. I've had fun bringing this list to you all. I had been thinking about this for a long time. And remember, this is for 2002, 2022, 2023. I may end up doing it again next year if you guys want.
I'm sure there'll be new names on that list.
If Ryan Johnson's name ends up on that list again, and that movie's been out for how long now? I mean, that's the staying power of something really bad, isn't it? Oh.
He is a troll. He's a self-admitted troll, but he's a troll. And he likes to troll fans. And my thing is, so basically a bunch of people give you money and all you can think of to do is make fun of them. Well, fuck you, Ryan.
Can I ask you something? And like I said, I didn't see the first part of this list. So was Taika Waititi anywhere in there?
Taika Waititi was
not. He's an honorable mention.
Yeah, he's an honorable mention, but
because this is the guy that said, "I will ruin your mythology in 5 minutes." He did say
in a minute, baby.
Yeah. Now, there's a reason why he's not on the list. In fact, at number 20 is the two guys who are show running the Rings of Power.
Oh, God.
Yeah. At number 19 is the young lady who's the showrunner of The Witcher.
Yeah.
When you have Henry Cavill working for you and you find a way of ticking him off, I mean, really?
They just don't want to pay him. It's so obvious.
And then,
because
and
this
then
guy is beloved by everybody. Everything he touches turns to gold. I mean, people were iffy about the friggin' Mission Impossible comeback. I mean, I love
Mhm.
Ghost Protocol because I'm a big fan of spy movies, but people
Yes.
didn't stand up and take notice till Henry Cavill reloaded his fists. I mean, you
Yep.
know, come
Yeah.
on, man. Give me a break. Everything that guy touches turns to gold. I can't wait to see Argyle. Have you guys seen the friggin'
Yeah.
trailer
Yeah.
for Argyle?
Yeah.
I was
Holy
surprised
shit,
that, you know,
that
but
looks
yeah.
awesome. Oh, man.
So he wasn't Bond. Okay, he will be his own Bond.
He will be, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not. He's going to
Yeah.
be.
He'll make
Even
his
if
own
it's a
Bond with
fantasy
Blackjack and
version of it.
hookers.
Damn it.
Yeah.
With
I'm
John
telling
Cena
you.
as his Q, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, if
It's
he
dumb.
is just a fan, you know.
He's one of us.
He is a fan. He is definitely one of us. When you can make a video that is nothing more than you just basically putting together your own gaming computer, and you get chicks to watch in droves.
Doesn't matter how short your arms are. You just got that kind of charisma.
I mean, can you name any other guy that could get away from doing an entire video? It's like, I'm gonna put together my gaming computer so I can play World of Warcraft. You know, chicks are gonna turn that off quicker than anything. Henry Cavill does it. It's like, yeah, they up there just like, yeah, they're getting up the popcorn, they're getting their favorite wine, they're watching him just put that motherboard right in there. It's geez, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It's the same. It's the same effect that Taylor Swift is having on the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys,
Suddenly-
these people are
suddenly-
icons. Anything they touch is going to be good.
Suddenly,
it's
all
gonna
these
end up good.
Swifties are NFL fans, and they can't even spell Kelsey's name right. Did you see that
No.
picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a picture of some girl at the game in this bedazzled sleeveless Kelsey shirt that she made herself, and she spelled his name with EY at the end.
Wow.
Look,
Hey,
SEY. Yeah.
Hey, Wolverine 626. Let me tell you something. Bait and switch. I'm telling you right now, I want you to hold on to how you felt when you found out that Wolverine was going to be in Deadpool 3. I want you to hold on to that feeling. I want you to hold on tight to that feeling, okay? Hold on.
Because
when you find out, when you find out what they're going to do to that movie, what they had planned and how they negotiated it, let's just say this is the final touch, curse of Victoria Alonso.
right.
She's gonna get you.
And I'll tell you
And
this,
she's-
Wolverine, you might have felt bait and switched, but I trust Matthew Vaughn. There is nothing that guy has made that I have not enjoyed thoroughly.
I'm willing to give Matthew Vaughn the benefit of
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, even with
I-
my
I-
trust issues with Matthew Vaughn.
I said the same thing with Gareth Edwards. And I went to the cinema and watched the creator, and oh, fuck me.
Well, I haven't seen the creator yet, so I was planning on going Tuesday, but
I'm not hearing much. It doesn't have a buzz. I'm not hearing much about it.
What I told Gary was, it has been a long time since I have hated a movie so much.
Ooh, wow.
maybe I'll just wait. Maybe I'll just wait until it comes out on screen.
Yeah.
I'll just wait until it comes out on screen.
Yeah.
I've missed it a couple of weeks.
But don't say my word as gospel. You know, everybody has his
Yeah, judge
own...
for yourself. But I was
Yeah.
already iffy about seeing it, so
There's always network. I'll just wait until it gets on broadcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hey, War Monkey, just at the end.
What's up?
Yep.
Sup, War Monkey? Well, again,
You need to rewatch this stream, Monkey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to
you
go
do.
back to the beginning.
Yeah, we got a nice list for you.
It said go back to the
And,
beginning, so I went back to the beginning.
But anyway, let me just say that first and foremost, Read by Nature, Wolverine 66, Penny, That 70s rock band, Zax, Shinatsky, Lady V Elements. Wow, Lady V. Decepticon's Cave of Comics and Toys. Anima Confusa, Andy Morrow, and everyone else that, whether they walked in, walked out, War Monkey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank John, Joe, and Martin.
Hey.
And a big thank you to Anima because, she's cool like that. And of course, our good luck charm and our good buddy, Gary, for dropping in.
Yep.
Hopefully the rest of your day is fun, fantastic, and fabulous. And if it isn't, replay this episode. Just
And it will be.
Bathe in the nerdiness because it's good for you. It's good for the skin. At least that's what I heard. So, on behalf of everyone here at Pop Culture Minefield, I bid you adieu.
Have a good one.